Why are Kylie Jenner's gingerbread men living better than we are? Look at this. Is this house in Aspen? That is Restoration Hardware furniture in there. Do not tell me otherwise. It's Restoration Hardware. Maybe Z Gallery for the vase? And look at the detail on this fireplace. I'm not totally unconvinced that the Property Brothers aren't close friends with this couple. A cookie shouldn't get to live this comfortably. And that's bad on being a Kardashian's Christmas cookie.
You're a monster.
Speaking of snacks, I hope you have some ready because you're gonna want to settle in for today's show. Snoop Dogg destroys Cardi B's WAP. No, not like that. The New York Times says the vaccine may be useless. Is Taylor Swift going to drop a third album? And mega church pastor Joel Osteen is busted for lying again. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Get a bucket and a mop for this tea, cause it is spilt. Snoop Dogg is not about that WAP. In a recent interview, he was asked about Cardi B's #1 charting banger, That's All About Coochie, and said, OMG, slow down, like slow down and have some imagination. Let's have some privacy, some intimacy, where he wants to find out as opposed to you telling him. That should be a woman's pride and possession. That's your jewel of the Nile. That's what you should hold on to. That should be a possession that no one gets to know about until they know about it.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg.
That is so unbelievably based that I think I need a moment of silence for that quote. Nah, too much to say.
Waters run deep. Still Snoop Dogg and D.R.E. 9-9.
Cardi B's husband Offset came to her defense and said men need to stay out of women's business and that they should be uplifting women instead of telling them what they can or can't do. He's right. Cardi B can do anything she sets her mind to.
If you could clean your butts, you could do anything.
Don't you just love it when a serial cheater gets on his high horse to teach us about uplifting and respecting women?
You are not a man. You are a big fat joke.
I know Snoop Dogg isn't a Gold Star student either, and he's done and said a lot of disgusting things. But he nailed it on this and said what everyone else is too scared to say. In honor of him, I'll be having some gin and juice tonight.
Cheers, I'll drink to that, bro.
I'm gonna be really honest with you guys because I consider us to be real life friends and friends tell each other the truth. I don't see us getting out of lockdown anytime soon. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if some states are locked down for the entirety of next year and for the next couple years, they make us wear masks. I hope that I'm wrong. I have about as much medical expertise as Daffy Duck, probably less. So let's just keep that in mind. But if I was placing bets, that's where my money would be going.
Why?
Because the New York Times tweeted, the coronavirus vaccines will probably prevent you from getting sick with COVID-19, but it's not yet clear whether you can still get infected asymptomatically and silently spread the virus.
Oh, for f***'s sake. Not that again.
Could this be, perhaps, the first vaccine in history that wasn't created to actually prevent contraction of illness?
For the shot, you understand? You're going to behave. Give my daughter the shot!
Masks forever, yay! I love mask and mask love me, yay! I'm gonna start only doing makeup on the top half of my face though, so I guess that's a positive.
Pardon me?
Is there going to be a third album in Taylor Swift's folklore series?
The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow.
Folklore was the first album, and then of course she released the second album, Evermore. But Swifties have been working overtime to prove that this is actually going to be a trilogy era with the last album coming out in March.
That's my man.
There are a lot of little clues that fans have fixated on, the biggest being in one of her pictures for the Folklore album cover, the word Woodvale is hidden in it.
It's a sign.
Well, Taylor addressed the rumor on Kimmel and said it was all an accident.
I tend to be sort of annoyingly secret agenty about dropping clues and hints and Easter eggs, and it's very annoying, but it's fun for fans and it's fun for me because they like to pick up on things. And they'll notice lots of things in music videos or photos or whatever. And then sometimes I take it too far and I make a mistake. And basically, when I was making Folklore, the album that came out back in July, I was too afraid to even unveil the title of the album to even my closest teammates in management. I didn't tell anybody the album title until right before it came out. And so I came up with a fake code name that had the same amount of letters as Folklore, chose a random name, chose Woodvale, wanted to see how it would look on the album covers, mocked them up, and then decided I don't actually want to have a title on the album covers. And we forgot to take the fake code name off of one of them.
Is that true? Is that really true?
Yes. That's what happened.
That's it, folks. 2 albums is all she wrote, and I'm loving Evermore even more now that I keep listening. Her albums really do age like wine, and you gotta sit, and you gotta enjoy them and marinate in the music with no distractions. I just said distractions.
That's my man. That's my man.
People are just now realizing that Joel Osteen is a charlatan dirtbag. The mega-church pastor and televangelist swore that Lakewood Church in Houston hadn't taken any PPP money or applied for any. Turns out they received a $4.4 million loan.
Just can't stay out of trouble, can you?
While people in his own congregation were losing their businesses, most likely, Osteen took money he didn't even need. Keep in mind, someone like Joel Osteen can afford to pay his employees out of pocket. He didn't even need this whatsoever.
Because you're greedy, schemy, and selfish.
The receipts are there, not just for this, but countless other things this false teacher has done. Joel Osteen teaches that if you just have faith in God, he will bless you with wealth and material things. Jesus makes it very clear that no matter how good of a Christian we are, it can and will still result in persecution in this world. This is all super sketch and in direct opposition to the gospel. I'm just telling you.
Run away, Simba. Run. Run away and never return.
People like Joel are likable, know how to work a crowd and make you feel good. But a message that is designed to just make you feel good on earth is useless when it comes to your eternal life. I know me saying this is gonna be very controversial to some of you because he's a big kahuna, but I think it's important. Look out for wolves in sheep's clothing like this. If you want your best life now, then absolutely believe his theology. But if you want your best life forever, avoid this like the plague.
It's a trap!
I really did save the best story for last today. This is important. Shrek was added to the National Film Library of Congress, as it should be.
Oh, really?
Each year, 25 films are added that aren't already in there, and the movies are selected based on their cultural, historic, or aesthetic importance to the nation's film heritage. The movies also have to be at least 10 years old. There's everything from musicals and box office smash hits to silent films and documentaries that they believe show American excellence. The Dark Knight and Blues Brothers were also added this year.
I wanted to see what you'd do. And you didn't disappoint.
I mean, I just couldn't agree more with this assessment. When I think American excellence, Shrek is the first movie that comes to mind. Cinematic masterpiece, honestly.
We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
I'm glad not every government job is useless.
Cause I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me.
Can I just say something? Shrek is kind of hot.
Oh, stop.
I'm serious. He would do anything for Fiona. He's a homeowner. He has a waterfront property. He's a man with a mortgage. That's hot. Also, he knows how to provide for a family.
I swear to God, I will turn this camera off.
Abigail, Shrek embodies what it means to be a real man. He protect, he attack, but most importantly, he want his swamp back.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Final random thoughts today. Why aren't you sleeping in a nightgown? It's totally underrated. And no, I'm not talking about moo-moo. I mean a cute, slippy nightgown. I think it's when I feel the most beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. I feel second most beautiful when I catch my reflection on the Target security camera, and I feel the third most beautiful when I'm picking Cheez-It crumbs out of my bra.
It's that little crumb snatcher.
Speaking of clothes, it is too late to get your POPlitics merch orders before Christmas now, but you can still order things. A lot is sold out or selling out, but we will restock after the holidays, so make sure you set aside some of your Christmas money to go towards that, or you can shop merch in person this weekend at SAS in West Palm Beach if you're going to that.
That hat makes you look like a girl.
Am I a pretty girl?
Subscribe to POPlitics on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review to ensure we can keep doing this show. Another way to support us is making sure you tap the like button. I would love to read your thoughts on Snoop Dogg calling out Cardi B's WAP and Joel Osteen. Most importantly, though, is Shrek hot? Share this episode to your stories. Encourage your swamp friends to follow us and hit the save button, but not the swamp friends in DC, okay? We don't want none of that swamp. We're back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific with our last show before SAS and the holiday season. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics.
Click below to watch yesterday's episode. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content.